Hey guys, so in this video, let's try to compare two fragrances that smell alike. And if you're a fan of Dior Homme Parfum, you might wanna try this other fragrance that I'm going to tell you. Wow, this is so. I think this YSL private blend fragrances, right? I'm talking about six the street names, the ones with the street names, right? Rue de Université, six Place Saint Sulpice, and this one, Rue de Bellechasse, 37. They're all just some really nice fragrances. I just went to the mall today in Sydney CBD. I tried some of the fragrances. It's one of my favorite lines in fragrances as a whole, considering all the brands. They have some really beautiful fragrances. There's this thing called Cuir, Cuir. That is an amazing fragrance. Well, I'll maybe buy some samples of all those fragrances and post my impressions of those fragrances. For this video, let's try and compare these two fragrances. What I get when I try this fragrance, right? This is what Dior Homme Parfum should have been. This is such a nice fragrance. This is such a dark and so the problem with this Dior Homme fragrance is like the iris. The iris is very powdery. So though it is, and though Dior Homme Parfum is a nice fragrance, I like the fragrance itself, but I kind of expected that to smell something like this. This is 37 Rue de Bellechasse. So what these guys have done, this Rue de Bellechasse YSL, I'll just give you an idea of what it smells like. So if you take Dior Homme Parfum and then dip it in some kind of dark syrupy amber, right? This is what you get, which is amazing. It doesn't have that powdery aspect that the Dior Homme Parfum has. So if you guys are a big fan of Dior Homme Parfum, you should definitely try this. And I'm not sure where this amber is coming from. Probably this benzoin or there's something very syrupy and liquidy, right? In this fragrance, and it gives it a nice depth and ah, this is amazing. So you get the oud, and it's pretty much the DNA. It's like the same DNA of the Dior Homme Parfum, but it's much more deeper and much more ambery, and that is what I like about it. Uh, yeah, there's nothing else to say about it. And I was wondering who the perfumers were for this fragrance, and I found two different perfumers, right? One is Cecil Martin, and the other one is Julie Mass. And their parfum was done by this master perfumer Francois de Machy, I think, who has retired now. This Mr. Francis Kurkdjian is taking over Dior. Now, I just like saw their resume, the fragrance resume. These two perfumers, they don't have nothing much on their resume except for. I mean, nothing much as in I don't see any popular fragrances in their this thing except for look at this. This is Cecile Maton. She has worked on this Rue de Bellechasse, and there's some Victor and Rolf, none of which I've heard of. And you have what else? See, all of these brands, they're not that. She's worked on some Giorgio Armani Stronger With You line. I think it's a good line, and that's it. Like only two fragrance brands that I can that I can say that I'm familiar with. Although I'm not saying I'm an expert on fragrances, but I've tried decent amount of brands, and then I'm familiar with most of the brands that are currently there in the market, right? And same with this other perfumer as well. And look at this. She has worked on Giorgio Armani, some private blends, and some C lines that I am familiar with. And she's worked on a Calvin Klein Eternity, and there's one Bentley private blend. Apart from that, this is nothing much in her resume. So they are, I don't know, relatively new perfumers or what, but they have done such a beautiful job on this fragrance. I would definitely prefer this over Dior Homme Parfum. Or if only this was cheaper. Oh, let's see. So in Rue de Bellechasse. So this is $340, which is almost double the price of Dior Homme Parfum, I guess, right? But no, I don't have it here. Try. Mm, yeah, this is amazing. You guys should definitely try this. Whoever, if you're a fan of Dior Homme Parfum, please at least test this fragrance, and you know what I'm talking about. It's an amazing fragrance. And see, I'm not an expert of Dior Homme Parfum either. I just bought that fragrance recently, a month or two back, and then I sold it off because it wasn't performing well on my skin. But I'm talking about the scent wise. Scent wise, this is, I don't know if the previous batches of Dior Homme Parfum used to smell like this or whatever. I'm not sure about that. But I didn't see anything like that in even in the comments, right? Even in the comments, what say they obviously have compared it with Dior Homme Parfum. But then in the comments, if you see, they are pointing out some other fragrances. It smells like Lalique Hommage, Alaume. And although this is an iris, it's totally different than DHP. This is its own thing. Yeah, a dark gothic scent of oud and elamite that hints of the sacred and profane at the same time. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, so that's about it. But this amber thing, man, right? Amazing. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Bye bye.